Okay, let me tell you what's been going on. It's a lot. Been holding it in for weeks, and honestly, talking to you about it feels necessary right now. It all started a while back, but I finally figured out what was really happening, and things got intense. You know my wife, Eleanor? We've been together for 17 years, married for 15, no kids. We had a good life, or what I thought was a good life. Nice house, decent jobs, you know, just comfortable. I honestly thought we respected each other. Looking back now, the problems didn't just appear overnight. It was slow, subtle stuff at first. Over the last 3, maybe 4 years, Eleanor started pulling away. She'd say her job was getting crazy, late nights, weekend meetings, and she started going out more with her friends, coming home super late sometimes, smelling like booze and perfumes I didn't recognize. Our connection especially. Well, intimately. It just faded. I figured it was just life, stress, maybe a phase in a long marriage. I even suggested counseling, once. She shut it down, said I was being too sensitive. Before all this, man, things were normal. We'd spend weekends gardening, taking drives, cooking together, just talking about our day. Eleanor used to be more present, more affectionate. She had this laugh that could lighten things up. That person just slowly disappeared. Dinners together became rare. There were so many little signs like breadcrumbs I didn't understand. Her phone, man. It used to just lie around. Then it was glued to her hand, always tilted away from me. Walk into a room? Screen flipped face down. She changed her passwords too. Said it was for work security, new company policy. Sounded plausible back then because of her job. We started arguing more, usually her picking fights over stupid stuff. The dishwasher, the movie, what I was wearing. It felt like she was just annoyed I was around. She'd say I wasn't fun anymore, or that I didn't get how much pressure she was under. If I tried to talk about us, she'd just sigh or change the subject. Weekends. She always had plans with friends, always vague, and I was never invited. Girl time, she'd say. You wouldn't enjoy it. I remember suggesting we go to that old county fair we used to love. She made an excuse about a friend thing that never happened. Later, I asked how it was, and she just casually said, "Oh, it got cancelled." It felt off, but I didn't know why. Then, there was this weekend, maybe a year or so ago. She said she was going on a work retreat, left a printed schedule on the fridge. That night, I tried calling the hotel listed on the schedule just to say goodnight, you know. Her phone was off. The person at the front desk said no one with her name was registered, no company event there. My gut just twisted when she came. Home, I asked about the retreat, and she gave this whole detailed account of speakers and workshops. After she finished, I just calmly told her I'd called the hotel and what they said. She exploded, yelling about not trusting her, trying to control her. Then she came up with this story about a last-minute hotel change due to plumbing problems, said she forgot to tell me. And boom, she pulls out an email on her phone confirming a booking at a different hotel. It looked almost too perfect, like she had it ready. I didn't push it. I didn't want to believe she'd lie about something that big. Her spending went crazy, too. New clothes all the time, expensive salons, gifts she claimed were for clients or friends. Our joint account was being drained on stuff we never discussed. I tried talking about saving, budgeting. She got furious, said she earned her money and could spend it how she wanted, which was true, but we'd always talked about big purchases. The moment everything shattered, the moment my world just broke into pieces, that happened about 5 weeks ago. Tuesday evening, Eleanor was in her study on a video call with her friends. Usually she uses headphones, but I guess she didn't connect them right this time. The sound was blasting from a Bluetooth speaker in the kitchen. I was in the kitchen, grabbing a late sandwich. The study door was just slightly open. I heard them, all laughing loud. Then I heard Eleanor. She was telling a story and her friends were obviously loving it. "He's just so clueless," she said. Her voice, it had this awful mix of amusement and disgust. 15 years, and he hasn't suspected a thing. Honestly, sometimes I think he's too stupid to notice. Her friends cracked up. Man, I just froze. My blood turned to ice right there in the kitchen, bread in my hand. She didn't stop. David is amazing, you know. So attentive. It's like night and day compared to Mark. Mark just plots along happy in his little oblivious world. One of her friends asked how long it had been going on with this guy, David. Oh, with David? About 4 years, pretty consistently. There were a couple of others before him, shorter things, but David is different. Then she started describing something sexual they'd done recently. In detail. Her friends were giggling, wanting more. She even joked about almost getting caught a few times, but then said, "My so-called lack of awareness made it easy for her to get away with it." She mentioned David was married too, said it made it safer because he wouldn't want anything serious. I couldn't listen anymore. I just quietly shut off the speaker and backed away. My mind was reeling. Years, not one affair, but others. The woman I'd spent almost 2 decades with was a total stranger, and she thought I was a fool. The way she said it, so casual, so cruel. Her laughter. It just broke something deep inside me. I didn't feel sadness right away, just numbness. I didn't say a word to her that night. Went to bed, pretended I hadn't heard anything. It was the hardest thing, keeping my face neutral. She came in later, humming. Asked if I was okay, why I was quiet. I just said I was tired. Next morning, I went through the motions, got up, went to work. But my brain wasn't on my job. Too stupid to notice. Those words were on repeat. My mind, which is usually good at solving logical problems, locked onto one thing. She thought I was stupid. I decided right then I was going to show her just how much I could notice, how carefully I could plan. First thing was proof, solid proof. Not just for me, but for the divorce I knew was coming. And maybe for other reasons too. I started with the money. All our joint bank accounts are online. I get copies of her credit card statements too, signed up years ago for electronic statements to a shared email, and she never changed it. So I started going through years of statements, line by line, looking for anything weird. Those spa weekends, she said, were solo trips. Fancy dinners at restaurants I'd never been to. Hotel bookings in places she had no work planned. Expensive gifts. Patterns started appearing. Work trip dates matching up with big charges at small fancy hotels. I remembered an old voice-activated recorder I used in college. Found it in a box, got new batteries, and carefully hid it under the passenger seat in her car. I knew recording someone without them knowing might be legally tricky, but honestly, at that point, I didn't care about playing by the rules. I also put some software on the home computer she sometimes used. It's meant to find and recover deleted files. I was looking for anything, emails, messages, photos, anything. I turned into a detective in my own life. Hours every night after she was asleep, or early in the morning, piecing things together. The calmness I felt was strange, like my emotions had been switched off, and my brain was just a machine focused on this one task. The evidence came in fast. The voice recorder in the car picked up calls with David, talking about meeting up, things they'd done. But also calls with her friends, still laughing about me, bragging about how she was juggling everything. Recovering files from the computer was huge. Deleted emails with David, photos of them together. Some innocent looking, others, well, more intimate. Photos from solo trips or business trips that clearly weren't solo or just business. It was like her whole secret life was laid out in front of me in recordings and digital files. It's been about 5 weeks now since that night. 5 weeks living a lie. Being polite to Eleanor, making small talk, all while this cold controlled. Anger was just simmering inside me. For 5 weeks I've been building my case, late nights, going over everything, making copies, organizing it all. I found out who David is. Full name, where he lives, works, and most importantly, that he's married. Eleanor was incredibly sloppy with her digital secrets once I actually started looking. She had his number saved under a woman's name, but the call.text patterns were weird. I cross-referenced dates and times with the recorded conversations, did some social media searching using small details she'd mentioned, led me right to him. His wife's social media showed pictures of their family, looking happy. That happiness was about to end. My plan isn't simple. It's got a few parts, designed to hit Eleanor as hard as possible. Her birthday was about 10 days after I overheard her. I decided I was going to make it a birthday she would never forget. I talked to a lawyer, a good one, tough in divorce cases. We got everything ready. All the evidence, compiled, organized, ready. My lawyer was impressed, said it made our case incredibly strong. Here's how it went down. Phase 1, financial lockdown. 2 days before her birthday, that was a Monday, I went to our banks. I'd already spoken to a manager there, and my lawyer was with me for one visit, so they knew this was serious. I went through the steps precisely. First, I took exactly 50% of everything in our joint checking and savings accounts and moved it to new accounts only in my name. Then, I instructed the bank to freeze all joint accounts. Nothing in, nothing out, unless a lawyer signs off. My lawyer had a formal letter prepared. Explained the marriage breakdown, my concern about her potentially hiding or wasting assets. After the bank, I hit the credit card companies. All joint cards were frozen. The extra card she had on my main personal card, cancelled immediately. This meant any automatic payments she had set up for her stuff, car, phone, those ridiculous subscription boxes, would bounce. I made sure our essential household bills like the mortgage, which I'm paying alone now, and utilities, were switched over to my new accounts. Took several hours, man. It felt sterile, but necessary. Phase 2, informing the other injured party. That was the day before her birthday, Tuesday. I sent a package to David's wife, let's call her Jessica, anonymously, of course. I put together a neat little binder for her. Inside, about 20 clear photos of Eleanor and David together. Some were from trips. You could see locations, dates on some. Others were more personal, affectionate, but nothing overly graphic. Just enough to leave absolutely no doubt they were having an affair. I included copies of hotel bills with both their names on them and short typed excerpts from recordings where they talked about their feelings, their sexual encounters, how they lied to us. I included a very short unsigned note. It said, "Jessica, you deserve to know the truth about your husband David and his long-term affair with Eleanor," used Eleanor's full name. "The information enclosed is for you to see. What you decide to do with this information is your choice." Sent it via courier, signature required. Addressed specifically to Jessica at their home. I got the delivery confirmation later that afternoon. As I dropped that package off, it felt like I was striking a match, starting a fire. A destructive fire, yeah, but one that needed to burn. Phase 3, divorce papers. This was for her birthday itself, Wednesday. All prepared, ready to go with a professional process server. This guy's job is just delivering legal documents, no drama, just official business. My lawyer made sure the papers were airtight, stated, the reason for divorce clearly adultery. Included a summary of the mountain of evidence I'd gathered and what I was asking for in terms of assets. I knew Eleanor usually had a small birthday dinner with her friends. I'd even found the restaurant reservation in her email, which she'd left open on the home computer like she always did. I gave the server the restaurant address. Instructions were deliver them there in the late afternoon. If she wasn't there, deliver them at the house. The financial lockdown started showing results almost immediately. Eleanor called me Monday afternoon. Her voice was tight, then panicked. Credit card declined, couldn't access the joint account online. I kept my answers short, calm, told her I'd found out about serious problems in our marriage and had taken steps to protect our assets based on legal advice. Told her she'd understand everything soon. She started demanding more, voice getting louder, angrier. I just repeated she'd get the information shortly and hung up. She blew up my phone after that. Dozens of calls, texts, unknown numbers, friends' phones. The messages were all over the place and confused, angry. What have you done? Are you trying to ruin me? Pleading, please just talk. I ignored every single one. Her access to the money she'd been splashing around was gone. Maybe she had some hidden stash, but the main flow was cut off. Haven't heard anything directly from Jessica. Didn't really expect to. The package was for her decision. My focus was Eleanor. The house has been quiet. Eleanor was out late the night before her birthday. I guess trying to sort out the money mess or talking to friends. I changed the locks on my study door, by the way. That's where all my documents, my computer, everything is. The day came, Wednesday, her birthday. Felt a dark kind of satisfaction, a grim purpose. The woman who laughed about my stupidity was about to have a birthday she'd remember forever. Update. Okay, so it's been about a month now since that birthday. 5 weeks since I overheard everything. The immediate fallout, the big explosions. They've mostly settled down, but it's a messy, ongoing mess of taking everything apart. Her birthday. Man, it was a total train wreck from what I heard. The process server did his job perfectly. Walked right into the restaurant. Eleanor had just sat down at the table with her friends. Probably still rattled about the money, but trying to put on a brave face. Server walks up, asks for her by her full name, hands her the big legal envelope. My lawyer heard about it later from mutual acquaintances. Word travels fast in our town. Apparently, Eleanor opened it, read a line or two, and her face just drained of color. Then she started screaming, not just crying, full-on screaming, threw the papers on the floor, started yelling at the server, accusing him of ruining her life, completely hysterical, crying, shouting. The restaurant manager had to tell them to leave. Her friends tried to calm her down, but she was gone. One of her friends even called me and left this long, angry voicemail yelling at me for being cruel, describing how Eleanor was completely broken. The days after her birthday were just a barrage. She must have called me 50 times a day. My number, blocked numbers, her friends' phones, emails, texts, voicemails, tone changing constantly, furious threats, then sobbing apologies, begging to talk, saying it was a mistake, Troy. Meant nothing. Her friends misunderstood what she said. All the classic stuff when you're caught. I didn't reply to any of it directly. Told my lawyer, all communication goes through him. Her money situation got bad fast. Turns out she had almost nothing saved herself, just used the joint account for years. Her friends, the ones who seemed to encourage her lifestyle, not much practical help when her cash dried up. Sympathy, sure, but no bailouts. She couldn't make her car lease payment. The car, a newer model she loved, was repossessed a few days after her birthday. She also had to move out of the house about 2 weeks later. My lawyer pushed for it, given her behavior and no money to fight it right away. The house is mine now, legally secured. I heard she's staying with one of her friends, but it's temporary, and the friend is already getting fed up. About a week after I went silent, when she started getting letters from my lawyer and realizing how serious it was, she did something crazy. Showed up at my office building, went into the lobby and started yelling my name, demanding to see me, shouting that I'd ruined her life. Security had to escort her out. My colleagues saw it. Pretty shocking for them. Then, about 2 weeks ago, something more serious happened. One of her closer friends called me, sounding panicked. Said Eleanor had been drinking heavily for days. had a breakdown on the phone with her, said things about wanting to end her life. Then she cut her wrist. Superficial, but she did it. The friend called 911 immediately. Eleanor was taken to the hospital, treated the cut, put her on psychiatric hold for 72 hours. Doctors said it wasn't life-threatening, but she was clearly falling apart. I made sure my lawyer knew about this right away. It showed her state of mind, you know. Honestly, I felt nothing. No emotion about her being in the hospital. Just told my lawyer to get the reports, document it for the case. She was released, and her friends were told to keep an eye on her, remove anything she could use to harm herself. Added a whole new layer of stress for them, I'm sure. David's life completely imploded too. Jessica did not stay quiet after I got that package. Word got around fast. Apparently, Jessica confronted David the same day she got it. With the proof right there, he confessed everything. She kicked him out on the spot and has already filed for divorce. Heard he's devastated. Not about losing Eleanor, but about losing his comfortable family life, his home, his reputation. Eleanor has tried to contact him, maybe looking for support. But he's blaming her for everything, saying she was reckless and got them caught. So much for their special connection. Their affair is common knowledge in our social circles now, and neither of them is looking good. The legal fight is just starting, but my lawyer is confident. The evidence of her adultery is overwhelming. The proof she spent marital money on it is solid. Her lawyer is trying to get her a big chunk of the house value and ongoing support, but my lawyer is fighting hard. Eleanor's public outbursts and that recent incident, they're not helping her lawyer try to paint her as some wronged victim. I actually saw Eleanor by chance last week, at the supermarket. Walking to my car, I saw her standing next to another car in the parking lot, yelling, having a massive argument with one of her friends. She didn't see me. I just got in my car and drove away. Man, the difference, the woman I saw there looking awful, screaming, compared to the polished, confident, arrogant woman who laughed about me being too stupid to notice on that video call. It was shocking. She's living the direct consequences of her choices. Lost her husband, her home, her money, her reputation, her affair partner. My own life is. Dealing with lawyers, paperwork, stress, yeah. But underneath it all, there's this quiet, cold satisfaction. Knowing I didn't just take it. I didn't just roll over and let her get away with that level of betrayal and contempt. I'm getting through the divorce. My main goal was to make sure she understood without any doubt that her actions had serious consequences. That you can't treat another person with that much disrespect and cruelty and expect to walk away clean. And you know what? I truly believe that message has been delivered. Loud and clear. The guy she thought was too stupid to notice made damn sure she'll remember just how much he can notice and how carefully he can plan. Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to follow the channel for more deep and meaningful stories.